Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Noel Zone. This is Contact with myself. Um, Noel, I nearly forgot my own name there, and Cinnamon Toast and Christian from the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Now, what you call it? I actually totally forgot about the stream as well. So did Christian. So I'm just gonna say this, like you don't have to feel bad because I literally forgot and said, "Oh shit, better send a message to Christian see if we're still happening." So I've sent Cinnamon a message to tell him that the email is sent. So we'll see if he turns up. But if not, hopefully we'll have him next week. But I did send a message there, so he might pop in. We won't be on for long because obviously wires crossed and all of that. And Christian doesn't have a lot of time, so I'm just going to get him straight on and see what he wants to talk about. I'm over on the Irish zone. Get it off your chest a little bit later on. We'll be discussing everything, I suppose, that happened in the UK and yeah, and stuff because you know yourself. Uh, it's what's happening to Western society right now. But we won't get into it because I don't want to get into politics here. So anyway, we'll bring on Christian. Cinnamon says he's on his way. He's just grabbing a drink. That's a good idea. I'm going to grab me drink as well. So I'm going to bring Christian on. He'll start off the conversation. I'm going to grab a drink. So welcome, Christian.
Howdy, everybody. Nice. Thanks for inviting me back here. No, I apologize. I was focusing on our show tonight, and I was just like, God, I totally blitzed out. And I said I was going to grab something for lunch outside, but I'm just like, oh, no, I'm coming up. And I see Cinnamon's grabbing a drink, so there you go.
There he is.
Hello.
Hello, Cinnamon. God, hey. Bring on the queen, and we have a full complement. I like this.
Charlotte can't do Tuesdays. Charlotte does be busy. Charlotte does other streams on other channels, so we only get Charlotte Wednesdays now. So you know she's a big contributor on Dan's channel now. So you know Wednesdays we have our Wednesdays. So this is the panel now. So you got someone else anyway because you've been moaning about it since last year. So there you go. You got Cinnamon. So now you got a bit of company.
I just like the diversity of talk, and Cinnamon, you're a lot taller in the movies, so I never see you on camera.
Anyway, let's get straight into it, guys. Christian, you normally start off, so we won't change that just because we got a new co-host joining us. Because you know, we'll just keep it as the way we go. So, what would you like to get your teeth into this week?
Really nothing I can think of. I mean,
We're about the Marvel. All right, I'll ask you a question then to start it off. I'll ask the both of you a question to start it off. So, obviously, San Diego Comic-Con. I'm not talking Doctor Who, by the way, so don't worry.
Really?
San Diego Comic-Con was recently upon us and ended. But the big news is that RDJ is back in the MCU. Anybody got any opinions on it? He's going to be playing Doctor Doom or a variant or something. The rumor is that the new Avengers or whoever the Avengers are going to be are going to do something. They're going to pull out this Tony Stark variant. They think it's Iron Man, but he turns out to be Doctor Doom is the rumor. But this is a man that was slagging off the MCU after he won his Oscar. Now he's back. But I'd like to ask is, will Robert Downey Jr. save the Marvel Cinematic Universe? I mean, he did begin it originally with Iron Man. Do you think he can actually save it, or is this just desperation? Christian.
Hey, James. I really honestly don't know. According to most social media sites, the MCU is doing great. Everything is fine. It's like, okay, well, what's there to rescue if everything's doing great and everything's positive to you guys? I'm just like, okay. So I don't know is the honest answer. You guys remember that Downey Jr.
Christian,
Yeah. You hear me okay?
you're very low.
Oh, hang on a second. You hear me better now? Better?
Yeah,
Oh,
a
okay.
little bit better. Yeah, you still sound like you're a distance away, though.
Oh, hang on. Let me check something real fast. Does that work better or no?
There, that's perfect.
That's
Yep.
perfect? Okay. Well, I guess somebody was changing knobs on my Yeti. To be honest, I have not seen anything MCU since Endgame, and that's I have not moved forward. So I'm in like it's in the corner of my mind right now, and whether he's going to save the MCU or not, like I said, I've been reading stuff all over the internet where it says what's the problem with the MCU? Everything's doing great, and I'm just like, okay, so why is people saying if Deadpool and Wolverine and RT and Robert Downey Jr. coming back going to send the MCU? So either it's not being saved or it's being okayed, or I think they gave him a good chunk of change, and I don't blame him. I don't know what the negotiation is, but I remember Downey Jr. being on the Joe Rogan show. And from what I got from the interview is he was done with MCU. He already done it. I mean, Endgame was it. So him coming back seems like a nice feature. Robert Downey Jr. is a phenomenal actor, but I've been done with the MCU since Endgame. There's nothing I've been following up. I think I followed up on WandaVision for a while, and that was the last thing I followed up on. And I was like, no, I don't know where it's going with the MCU, but I'm done with it. It belongs to somebody else now.
Cinnamon.
Old habits, eh? That's all it is. It's old habits. Doing it a lot these days, aren't they? In all sorts of mediums and everywhere you can think of. Constantly bringing back characters. David Tennant. Let's relive the glory years, eh? Again, it's a bit. It just seems a bit desperate to me. Doctor Doom traditionally has a mask on, doesn't he? He's a fantastic full villain. Again, I'm not massively, got an encyclopedic knowledge of the Marvel universe, but will he be playing? Will we see his face? Well, obviously, if they're making a big song and dance about, it's Robert Downey Jr. being back again, then they've got to have his face in it, haven't they? Because you couldn't have him take a mask off or something and then have it be him, and then like no one bats an eye. They're just like, oh, you hang on, you look a bit like Tony. And if that's the case, if they're just going to cover his face up and they're not going to really, see him or whatever, however practical that would be, then what would be the point in getting him back? They just get another actor. So it's why have they done it? Why make a big effort to go and get him back? They always say, don't they? Never go back. Because it's never the same. Just why? Is it to get a bit of attention again? Is it so? Oh, look, he's back.
I don't think Robert Downey Jr. though needs the attention. I mean, the reaction to him being revealed was amazing. I'm not going to lie, and it looked like he was a bit taken aback. I don't think he realised how popular he actually was with the MCU. But I do agree with Christian and agree with you. It is a bit of desperation, but this is a man that said he was done. So I'd question these motives of why he came back. So to me, the first thing that springs to mind is he's after doing a sweet deal, maybe with merchandise and a big hefty paycheck for the next few years. But again, we've seen this, as you said, with Doctor Who. We've seen it with Star Trek, with Picard. I know season 3 ended up being deadly, but again, they needed to bring back the old cast to make that work. And if you need to do that in Hollywood, Brandon, you're done, aren't you?
Yeah, they do it with video games all the time. Classic, iconic characters. I've spoken about it before. Some of my favorite games, Dead Rising. They brought Frank West back for the 4th game. iconic character, and then absolutely butchered him, and it was nothing. He looked nothing like how he used to. He sounded nothing like he used to, and he acted nothing like he used to. Frank Weston name, it was just a completely different. It was just an incompetent team that was kind of riding the wave. Let's bring him back, and that. Oh, there you go. Everyone will just buy it again. Everyone says that, don't they? Oh, never coming back. But give it enough time and give him a fat enough paycheck. Money talks. All the time. Stephen Moffat again said he was never going to come back, and then he has. It's just how it works, isn't it? Sweet talk someone enough. It is what it is. I'm a bit like Christian. I've watched the Spider-Man movie. That was good. That was a good example of it. Okay, yeah, it was nostalgia. Yeah, okay, it was member berries, but it was done in a quite appropriate way. It wasn't disrespectful. It was just quite purely just Spider-Man fun. It was genuinely good.
It was a good movie. I like that movie. I like that. I'm a Spider-Man fan, but that last movie for me is a dream because Tobey Maguire, I like them as Spider-Man, but those movies get a bit of stick. But I did like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, and I think he was harshly done, So to see him back, to see those three on screen together for me, listen, that's how you do nostalgia properly, as you said, Cinnamon. That is absolutely how you do it. You're respecting the source material, and you tie up a few loose ends as well. So, they can do it, but like the MCU and DC been dead for a while now.
A lot of people would say that, the Tobey Maguire films or the Andrew Garfield films, they're not canon, they're just their own thing. Well, in a way, they are canon. They're still separate, but if they're going to go through this whole multiverse thing, which I hate because multiverses are so boring and overdone and just boring nowadays. But the fact that they've done it brings them into this universe, and it helps those films, those iconic films, be more connected. So if anything, I like it because they actually, for once, they've actually gone back and improved something. Whereas nowadays, it seems like they try and they get in this little tangent where they again, whether it be a game or a movie or a comic book, and then they say, we're nothing without our past and all that. They give the big spiel. We're nothing about our roots, and then they try and in such a desperate and forced attempt to respect the roots, to bring back things once gone and things that were good. They ended up ruining it and breaking it and changing it. Somehow it's weird contradiction with Star Wars. Let's bring back this character. Remember that old storyline that was so iconic, or this story arc, or this thing that was maybe in the Legends, Legends continuity. Let's bring it back and just rip it up and change it. It's nonsense. It happens all the time. It's they bring things back and then try and fix it. But at least there was a Spider-Man film. I thought they did improve it, not for changing it, but they like you say, they tied up a few loose ends with the whole Garfield thing, and just a few Maguire thing. I think they helped those movies.
Do you know what's? They probably sold Robert Downey Jr. because he was popular, saying you can actually help us here, save us here. I reckon he won't regret the paycheck, but I reckon he will regret this second coming, as some people are calling it. He definitely will, because Iron Man, he's so known for Iron Man now. I just can't see him play a different character anyway. I don't know about you guys, but I just can't see this, to be quite honest with you. I do see it as a move of desperation. But why not just make, I don't know, maybe fucking Endgame, change the ending to Endgame or something, that Tony Stark didn't fucking die. Do you know what I mean? This was the biggest fucking thing that they messed up in Endgame anyway. Why did they just kill him off? Do you know what I mean? Should never have killed off Tony Stark or Iron Man in the first place, but it was always going that way. But they should never have done it, because then if the franchise or the universe got into a bit of trouble, you could bring him back and it makes sense. You wouldn't be conning your audience. Do you know what I mean? That's what they're doing here. They're conning their audience, and I don't like that. I'm not blaming Robert Downey Jr. Look, at the end of the day, if someone offers you whatever they've offered him to come back and play a character, He's not going to turn it down. Who would? Do you know what I mean? But because let's be honest, when it comes to movies now, there's certain movies that they do have, and certain topics that they do have respect for. But of course, he wouldn't have respect for that. He doesn't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like to him, the Marvel universe is nothing. It's his bread and butter, basically. So I don't blame him, but I just wish he had shown a little bit of integrity and turned down the money, like Johnny Depp. When Pirates of the Caribbean, just turn it down. Done. No, I'm done. I meant it when I said I was done. But now, hollow words. I agree with everything you're saying, Noel. This is a move that signifies the MCU are out of ideas and vision. It is. It is. Look, I'm not going to lie, though. I think, like a lot of people, I will be curious to see this. But I just think on Robert Downey Jr.'s part, this is a big mistake. It's a big mistake. He's loved by the fans because he played Tony Stark, Iron Man. I know this is supposed might be varying. Apparently, if the rumors are true, they pull him out of the universe, but they think they've got an Iron Man, and he turns out to be Doctor Doom, whatever. Right? If that rumor is true, that's absolutely stupid. Anyway,
how do they explain it for the same continuity?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like it's not like in years gone by again when like Freema Agyeman played two characters. She played a cousin, and they kind of they played around it and kind of tied it up a little bit, so you could suspend your belief temporarily.
Or I wouldn't even.
Robert Downey Jr. for a while. He is, and probably, or what maybe. Well, he was, and probably still is, the face of the MCU. You think of Iron Man. He was one of the big characters, the face of the Avengers. He's a big, well-known character. And again,
listen, as far as I'm concerned, he's the one that started off the. Look, if that first Iron Man movie hadn't been successful, we wouldn't be sitting here today. That's the truth of it. Right? His charisma. Listen, this is an actor. Remember, people actually forget. This was an actor that was on a high and then was busted with cocaine and was sent to fucking prison. Came out, then he got little roles. I think his first role was that movie with Halle Berry in the asylum. What was it called again? Fuck, it's a great movie. Gothica, right? And he was brilliant in that. And then I think he got Chaplin then a few years later. But this was a guy that was rebuilding his career, and then Iron Man dropped on his lap. I mean, it's just Robert Downey Jr. basically playing Tony Stark. That's what it is. Robert Downey Jr. playing Tony Stark. And it worked. And that movie was fucking huge. I hated the second one, I've got to be honest. I didn't mind the third one, but it was a bit what they did with
I like the second one. I think I preferred the second one. I'm one of these weird people that tend to be a bit.
Yeah, I didn't like the second one as much as the first one.
I know I'm in the minority in that one, but I think objectively, because I think just going back to my childhood, I just remember watching the second movie on repeat so many times, eating a bowl of ice cream. For some reason, I don't know, I really enjoyed that second movie because it took itself seriously back then. In those movies, when they first started out, it wasn't it wasn't just silly comic book movies. It was it's the same thing about the Lord of the Rings. These sort of comic books, things like comic books or things like Lord of the Rings, Dungeons and Dragons and medieval things like that. The average person went, what you like that, do you? But you're one of those people, you're a geek, are you? And then when they became more mainstream, again, when you got movies like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and when you see them, Spider-Man movies can actually have live action movies, or they can take something like that and put it into a movie, or they can take something like a Lord of the Rings or like a Dune or something like a bit low key, and then make it into a screen and bring it to a casual audience, and then you see how much love they get. People, guys taking their girlfriends to the cinema to watch a movie they probably wouldn't have thought of watching before. It was they were really built a universe there, and they were really going in a great direction for a long time. And then it gets derailed. I think it's just a bit diluted now. Sorry, Christian.
Is it? Yeah, but hold on. People have said, right, you hear the media say it's a superhero movie fatigue and all this. And I used to subscribe to that. But when you actually analyze it, right, this is not them running out of ideas or anything. This is them just going down the lazy route. Of course, they have to have ideas. That's what Hollywood does. It's a place of ideas, but the people that they're hiring are brain dead and don't know a single thing about the franchises that they're writing for. If you got the right writers in, there'd be no superhero fatigue. Now, James Gunn is not a big. I'm not a big fan of James Gunn, but I've seen that some of the trailers of some of the stuff that he's releasing, especially that cartoon, whatever it was called. I'm not big into all DC characters except for the Dark Knight, obviously, and Superman. But it looked intriguing. It looked really well done. It's like James Gunn, even though I didn't like his Suicide Squad movie, to me it was too comic booky, right? And people will say, well, how is that a criticism when he's doing a comic book movie? Yeah, but there has to be some. This is what I like about, people give out about Man of Steel, but I like the realism in comic book movies now. I like that realism. I like that. That has to be part of it for me to buy it.
It's the same reason why you couldn't really have Superman now in the sort of pants. It look a bit silly. Some things have to be sort of like just slightly changed to sort of maybe be a bit more immersive and a bit. So
far, I've liked what I've seen in relation to that, but not Superman. I'm actually horrified that he has him in the red trunks and stuff. But if he can make these movies without being too comic booky, like with his Suicide Squad, but the films have to have some sort of realism in it for people like me to buy it. Because remember, there's a lot of comic movie fans out there that aren't necessarily comic book fans, right? So for you might like to see all of that shit, and the Suicide Squad was a perfect movie for you, James Gunn's version. But for me, it was absolute rubbish, actually. I thought it was dire, a waste of Peter Capaldi as well. I got criticism for saying that. Still hold that opinion. It's one of the worst movies I've watched, and I've watched them shit over the years, including.
They really promoted him heavily as well, didn't they? Didn't they? They made it out like he was the big boss or something. He wasn't. It was like it's the same thing they do with Shooty all the time. Like they'll promote him in Barbie, but like he's in when you actually talk it up. I saw a YouTube video that said he was in like less than 4 or 5 minutes of screen time, like in the entire movie.
Well, they promote this stuff out there and make it they make it sound like they're going to be, we got Peter Capaldi. And then I remember when the Terminator Genesis, they were boasting about Matt Smith. Well, he was in it for 5 minutes and they weren't even jointed. He was like,
not only that,
I mean, what was the point in that? And especially what I said when the Suicide Squad came out and I heard Capaldi was in it, and I said, if you kill him off, I am not watching this movie. And I waited, and I didn't care if I was spoilered. I said, if you kill him off, I'm not watching this movie. And surely enough, they did. Spoilers, sorry, everybody. And I said, I'm not watching the movie. I'm not getting my... Not only that, but like you said, they keep promoting it. And he's, for us people who want to see him in it, we're not getting our money's worth. I mean, we're watching the other stuff. We understand that. But I want to see it for the thinker, because I want to see a Doctor Who actor, just like Genesis. I want to see a Doctor Who actor really take off and make it a role. And it's just like the only time we're seeing it right now is House of the Dragon. And I haven't seen that series yet. But
yeah. Matt Smith was done dirty in Gen Z, though, because if you watch that movie, I have a soft spot for that movie. I know it's a bit fucked up, right? But just hear me out, right? But there's a few deleted scenes of him, right? He had a bigger part in that movie, and why they cut it out is beyond me. You should check the deleted scenes out in that movie. Matt Smith literally has loads. It was the same with that movie as well. With he was in a movie where he played some gangster, and they show a younger version of him where he goes in and blows your man's head off. Like, that was taken out of the movie. Matt Smith, seriously, man, he has to be one of the most unluckiest actors when it comes to Hollywood movies, because he's been cut out of most of them. Like, and he's had good parts. When you see the deleted scenes, you say, why did they cut that out of the movie? You're literally giving out. Like, you're going mad for him because well, I don't care what anybody says. I think Matt Smith is a brilliant actor. I think he's deserved a lot more than what he's gotten, but I'm glad he's got a show like House of the Dragon now, and he's one of the main cast because he deserves it. He deserves it because he's a brilliant actor. He's going to get more exposure now because of that show. And don't be surprised if you see him after this show ends getting some decent Hollywood roles, and he'll deserve it.
Yeah, he's a brilliant sort of TV actor, and that's where he's like best. You know, it's a shame because he's had quite a few movies, and I think he's got maybe another one coming out. But for whatever reason, they just don't. I mean, not that he's bad in them, but they just don't tend to do particularly well. Morbius wasn't a particular, you know, it became a meme a lot more than it was anything of a good movie. Last Night in Soho I saw that. Well, I saw the trailer for it. I didn't watch it. It wasn't really my thing, but no one's talking about that anymore. So he's getting certain roles again. Even that I haven't seen Terminator, any of the Terminator movies. I know shock horror, but I believe the role he did have was like he voiced some sort of like user AI interface or something. So he's getting roles, but then you know when it comes to the movies, it's not really taking off. But he's doing really well on the TV front. And again, Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, it's a big franchise. There's a lot of eyes on that. He's got a big role in that. So hopefully that'll launch him further up and finally get him, maybe get the wheels turning a bit more.
Well, I think Anthony Davis, I'm going to wrap it up here. The writing has to be good. The direction has to be clear. It's not just about explosions or exposition. It's not only that, but, you know, oh, we're going to have this person in the movie and you're only going to see him for 3 seconds. I mean, spoilers, there are tons of cameos in. See, I'm one that doesn't care about spoilers. Spoil the heck out of me because I find it in the reality that I am is it's like a car. I'm not going to just go into a car and drive it and enjoy it. I need to know what's in that car. And if I like where it's going and I like what it's doing and everybody says, hey, this is a good car, I'll drive it out and try it myself. And when I finally get to doing it, I meant the spoiler, even though I'm spoiled, I know what's coming up and I'm excited about what I'm going to be getting into, just like a car. I understand people are the other way, but it's just like there's one particular cameo that I thought was hysterically funny in it's one of the variants of Wolverine. I'm only going to say that, and it was just only about
I've seen
it's only about 2 to 3 minutes, but it was. You see, that's what I find in the MCU. It's fun, it's exciting, and that's where I think Deadpool is the best representative for the MCU. I mean, today. Everything else has just been, what are we trying to do here? And every time that somebody's, I constantly say, my biggest question is just like Lee kind of addressed it. I say it in one word. Why? Why are we doing this? Why are we here? I mean, at some point you got like 5 Batmans and 6 Supermans. And it's like, well, you have a choice now. And it's just like, but you're diluting the IP. It's not as strong as it was anymore when it was just Christopher Reeve, when it was just Michael Keaton. It just feels like it's a diluted version, and then you get those rarities where Christian Bale comes in and Henry Cavill, take up. But even now, the Justice League was kind of like, oh, what's going on here? So the retort of that question for why is why not? And I just said because I think you're just taking an IP and diluting it and making it less of have an effect than what it could be. If it was just, if it was just focus on the good stuff out there, as opposed to quantity over quality, like you said. I want quality if I had the choice. If it means that there's fewer attempts at the IP, so be it. I mean, the one thing I think is funny is Time Bandits is coming out. We talked about that, and didn't Terry Gilliam walk away? And if Terry Gilliam is walking away from your Time Bandit project, I think that's a hint and a half to go, yeah, maybe we're taking this in the wrong direction. The guy who practically created the Time Bandits is walking away from your project.
Says it all, really. Right. It's a short one today, folks. Obviously, you've all seen what happened in the UK yesterday. Everybody's just been all over the place, but it hasn't just affected people in the UK. It's affected people like here as well, because we had our own incident where 3 kids were, well, I can't say it, but you know what happened in Southport yesterday. And I've just been like everybody else. I wasn't even sure whether to come on today because, talking about entertainment and that, but I suppose everybody needs a little bit of a distraction. But I am on the other channel tonight. Get it off your chest. The Irish Zone, get it off your chest. And I'm pretty sure we're going to have a reaction to what happened what happened in Southport, because it's a conversation that needs to be had now, and I think you all know what I'm talking about. But it's gone too far now. But the 3 little angels who gained their wings, may they rest in peace, and to their family, their mother and father, their brothers and sisters, to everybody who knew them. Thoughts and prayers are with every single one of you and with the people of England. Absolutely horrifying what's happening in this world, and serious conversations now need to be had. We've been warning people for months now, actually years. Some people have been warning for years that these incidents and stuff like this would happen, and all we keep getting is the same bullshit. Migrants welcome, this, that and the other, and all of this other crap, and I'm sick of it. I've even seen people that have been, always saying, well, we can't, we have to allow some migrants. They're even changing their tune now. But the fact that I had to take 3 children to be taken from this world for you to cop on is beyond me. We shouldn't wait for major incidents to cop on. It's logical that some of these people coming into our countries are not compatible with our way of life and our way of doing things, or have our morals, or believe in the things that we believe in. And there's nothing wrong with that, right, when they don't bring it here. Right? The bottom line is, stay in your own fucking countries. I'm sick of it all. And I don't care if this offends anybody, but I'm sick of it all. 3 kids are no longer with us, 3 futures stolen, and we don't know what's going to happen with the rest. Anyway, I will leave it there. I'll let Cinnamon do his shout outs. I'm on the Irish Zone. Get it off your chest. I'm pretty sure it's going to be quite a heated one, an emotional one probably as well. So come and join me. Won't be on long over there either, because I think we're all drained. So I'll do an hour over there. We'll see if anybody wants to come on, but it's been a pretty upsetting time for everybody. And we're seeing what's happening in England, and we're absolutely horrified because, as I said, we had our incident where 3 children, luckily, those children, that creche worker survived because the fella that was doing the attack was apprehended and was beaten down to the ground. Anyway, Cinnamon, go on. If you want to do your channel shout-outs, I understand if you don't want to, but it's up to yourself.
Well, yeah, well, I finally, got around to uploading a video. It went a bit longer than I thought it would. It was about 50 minutes, just looking at a book. It's a very good book. But yeah, I finally did a video for you. Probably get another one out soon, whatever that will be. I quite enjoyed it, getting back into the swing of things again. A few comments, nice to get again. Once you're in it, once you've got the sort of the first one out the way, then the rest should start flowing. But like you said, we all need a bit of a distraction. There's a lot of evil and there's a lot of unrest in the world. So it's sometimes, for your own sake, it's nice to sort of just take a break, just to distract yourself, even for a couple of hours, whether it be. Yeah.
Oh, and I just wanted to say, Hugh Edwards was charged with being, yourself, like what I said he was on Twitter. So I just want to send out a message to all you Doctor Who accounts. Yes, all you Doctor Who accounts that, are defending Hugh Edwards. Get ready to be exposed, this bunch of fucking sick little assholes. Right? You are getting exposed. Yeah. Everybody's going to know that you supported a creature like him. And by the way, some journalists as well saying that he was being picked on. Shame on you all. But this is the society that we live in. that you will make excuses for heinous people like that and try justify it. Just like you tried to justify and the left were hoping that it was a white man that committed the crime yesterday in Southport. That's how sick you people are, right? You didn't think of the three children. No, you didn't think of any of the victims. The first thing you spotted was the perpetrator, right? Thinking, oh, let's hope it's a white person. Let's hope it's a white person. So you could stick it to the other side that just called far right. We were right. We've always been right. And I'm telling you now, right, there'll be more incidents like that in England. There'll be more incidents like that in this country. And I'm going to say to everybody in the channel, I don't care if he's political or not, but I have to say this. Do not let the British government and our Irish government normalise this, right? This is not normal behaviour in a normal society. Now, I'm not saying that Irish people and English people haven't been involved in knife crime, right? But this is not an everyday occurrence. This is not to be normalised. And make sure that your politicians know that, right? This shit is not going to be normalised, right? Or swept under the carpet. This is wrong. And the reason why it's happening, we all know why it's happening, right? There is no question about why it's happening. And on top of that, society is actually collapsing right now, right? It's full of fucking lunatics. It doesn't matter what skin colour they are, though, right? We're seeing them, even that girl, tomato soup girl, the one that threw the tomato soup over the paint, the Van Gogh, the sunflowers, yeah? She's in Manchester Airport today, throwing more fucking paint. Right, throwing paint there. She was already fucking charged for the Van Gogh thing. And there she is. I don't want to live in a world full of fools. Well, go back to school and get educated, you fucking muppet. Because the climate changes all the time. You fucking brainwashed little tool, you. Right, and then we have that other woman. Oh, my poor daughter's in prison. She can't go to her my son's wedding. Right, where's the honeymoon? Probably somewhere tropical. How are you getting there? You getting there by an air-powered aeroplane or a fucking water-fueled fucking jet? No. Shut the fuck up, you stupid fucking crazy asshole. Break the law, you find out, end the story. Sick of these lefties. Lock them all up. We're only in this situation because of the left. Right, look at how the world has gone in 10 years, folks, under the left. Look at it. Look at it. Full of fucking nonsense, right? Full of fucking people going around fucking deleting people because of who they are, right? And then you have all of these people, you're a bunch of racists because I want everything in your country. I got a house for you. I'm not happy with what I got. Well, I tell you what, get the fuck out, right? Because we're not happy with you motherfuckers coming over here playing the race card, all right? Okay, we're going to look after our own people and protect their kids. And what happened in England, let me just say, have declared war on the people, not just in the UK, but in Ireland. That is not going to be tolerated. And as I said, it's not going to be fucking normalised, right? And the bottom line is, you see any of these motherfuckers running around your place with one of those, take the bastard out. Simple. Some poor man tried to stop it and lost his life, by the way. Remember, there are some adults that bravely, and they should be remembered because they are brave, what they did yesterday. They were brave and they lost their lives for being brave, right? And it's not even up to a citizen to be doing that sort of thing, right?
It's just non-stop at the minute. It's one. You had the Trump thing, and then you had the one even what was down in Hertfordshire somewhere with killing two women, some ex-BBC bloke, I don't know, something like that, with a bloody crossbow, and then now this. It's every second week. It's
I know.
Constantly,
it's being normalised, man.
Big thing, and it's if they're not touching our kids, they're deleting them. It's Hugh Edwards as well. It's just non-stop.
Look at right. This is the world the left wanted. I warned you years ago, 7 years ago when I started, and they start doing all of this feminist shite in Doctor Who. I had streams on these very topics 7 years ago. Now, Yeah, Gobster talks about stuff, has been on my Irish channel, the Irish Zone. He did a stream with me. We spoke about the stuff that was happening in England before, obviously, this happened. We were also talking about John the White as well. But everybody's covering it. Listen, my other channel is blown up, right? I have a video that I put up 2 days ago that's had to get over 323,000 views. I've never gotten a video in my lifetime. It's the largest video I've ever done. You go to that channel now, you'll see me videos, right? There's very few of those that are 800, right? They're all over 1,000, 2,000, 7,000, 10,000, 20,000. I've never had that before. It's fucking crazy. Politics is just fucking, everybody's interested. But I've had people on from Wales, I've had people on from England, I've had people on from Scotland, I've had people on from the States, and I've obviously had people on from Ireland, right? All discussing the same thing, right? All telling people what the effects of all of this is happening, and all of these lefty twats just want to bury their heads in the sand and say refugees are welcome. Well, I'm sick of it. So if you want to hear some of the stuff that I talk about, I'm on the Irish Zone. Get it off your chest, where members of the public will be coming on tonight to discuss what they want to get off their chest. And then there's the Irish Zone as well. That's the channel. We're heading towards 8,000 subscribers now on that channel. So if you haven't subscribed and you do like your politics, please subscribe, because it affects us all. It doesn't matter what country you're in. That's the thing. It doesn't matter what fucking country you're in. Any country that's pushing all of this shit, you're experiencing the same stuff as me. The same stuff as in the UK, Scotland, Germany, Spain, France. So get in contact, subscribe to the channel, you know, get involved. I'll bring anybody on, right? I'll bring anybody on to discuss what's happening. It doesn't matter what part of the world you're in. We're all part of this together. As I keep saying, you know, Irish and English people have to start putting their differences aside, because there's still that kind of, you know, because we're fighting the same battle. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow for a lighter stream where I'll be joined by, of course, my co-host here, Cinnamon, and of course, the lovely Queen Charlotte. And you know, we'll see what happens. There was a few things spoke about at San Diego Comic-Con in relation to Doctor Who. We'll see if the guys want to talk about it. If they don't, we'll talk about something else, of course. But maybe we might touch on San Diego Comic-Con, and we might talk about that crossover, that ridiculous crossover with Lower Decks and Doctor Who. Yeah, and it looks shit, by the way, but we'll get into that maybe tomorrow. So for now, hug your loved ones, man, right? Keep them safe. Okay, especially kids. Your kids are not safe out there. That's the reality. They should be, but they're not, right? So it's up to you as parents now to watch your kids like you've never watched them before, and keep them close. Keep them close. And again, just one final time, I just want to send my love, my prayers, and my heartfelt condolences to the parents of those 3 kids, and you know, to the other families whose kids are fighting for their lives, and of course the adults who stepped in bravely. As we know, one has passed away. So, you know, absolutely shocking what's happened. And there was an incident in Bath as well, a chemical attack, but we won't get into that because, again, as I said, that's just normal in England, isn't it? Everybody just goes around chemical attacking everybody. It's been a thing that's been going on since the 1960s. You know what I mean? I'm only being, as you can tell, I'm being sarcastic. This is not normal. So don't let these fuckers normalize this, okay? Remember that. That's the big weapon you have.
I forgot that, the whole league.
And he needs to get out there, whether you support Tommy Robinson or not, right? That's besides the point. I don't care if you don't like the man. You need to get out on the streets. All you now need to join together, right? Millions of you need to turn out in London, the next one that gets called. You need to, in solidarity for those children and for future victims, by the way, because there will be future victims if you don't do something about this. So let this be the wake-up call for England, because it wasn't for Ireland. when 3 kids were stabbed over here. It wasn't a wake-up call here. Let this be a wake-up call in England. I fucking beg you. Because I believe once you get moving, might get so fucking lot moving, even though we are doing stuff and we're, you know what I mean, our country's smaller and the invasion has already happened here. So, oh, jeez, I'm not getting into it. But anyway, go on. I'll talk to you tomorrow for a light-headed, entertaining chat. Maybe a rant about Doctor Who, maybe. So, come and join us anyway. Have a good one, folks. We'll see you for the next one. I'm off to get prepped for the next stream. I'm never ending, man. Anyway, see you later. Bye.
See ya.